cut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Bomb Squad!
Big shout out to the hottest chat in the effing game. A-side official. No negotiation needed, period. 2024 on deck. The first in the building. Carlos Rosado is on deck. WCS salute. Hottest chat in the MFing game. Salute. We A-side official. No negotiation needed, period. You already know what we doing. You know what I'm saying? Mike on deck. Salute. What's good? Those of you that's coming in the building, make sure you hit the like button. I mean, it's simple as that. You know what I'm saying? Let's get down to it. If you choose to donate to the channel, man, the Cash App is floating across the screen for your viewing pleasure. We are in 2024, and I'm talking about, something that basically resonated the most in 2023. I was looking across the social media landscape, and pretty much from what I see, the only news outlet of segue that denied Terrence Crawford Fight of the Year was ESPN. You had Boxing Insider, you had Boxing Junkie, you had a plethora of other news sources that said Fight of the Year, Terrence Crawford, made the decision process easy. So let me share this for you right quick. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to everyone on the second day of this glorious 2024. Let me share this with you right quick. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because I felt they did an amazing job. I mean, very eloquent, written. I mean, very, very nice. Well said. Perfectly worded. They say Fight of the Year, Terrence Crawford made the decision process easy. And this is why sports, right? They say many people seem to believe that a boxer must have multiple fights to be considered the Fight of the Year. And I totally agree with that. I really do agree with this opening statement. I do. And I've been saying it. He only had one fight, but like Crawford said, that one fight, the magnitude of it far exceeded anybody else's. And it goes on to say, not us. Sometimes a single victory is so monumental, key, that it carries more weight than even 2 or 3 important wins by rivals, man. This is perfectly written, especially the opening statement. You know what I'm saying? Their opening words. That was the case when we selected our award winner for 2023. Naoya Inoue had a hell of a year, knocking out Stephen Fulton and Marlon Tapales to become undisputed champion in the second division. Devin Haney outpointed Vasily Lomachenko and Regis Prograis. David Benavidez dominated 2 excellent boxers, Caleb Plant and Demetrius Andrade, and Gervonta Davis KO'd 2 unbeaten Garcias, Hector Luis and Ryan. Those stars all had solid credentials for Fight of the Year. However, their accomplishments didn't add up to what Terrence Crawford did on July 29th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Crawford fought Errol Spence Jr. in the most significant matchup of the year. Haven't I used that word significant before? The most significant matchup of the year. That was the most significant matchup of 2023. A meeting of 2 unbeaten, pound for pound. Now the article can stop right here after it says Crawford number 1 and Spence number 4. The article can stop because that sums it up. That zips up everything with no optimism that Terrence Crawford should have absolutely been across the board the fight of the year. But we all know that politics play a role in this, more than likely, yes. It says, let me read this again. Crawford fought Errol Spence Jr. in the most significant matchup of the year, a meeting of two unbeaten pound-for-pounders, Crawford number 1 and Spence number 4, for the undisputed welterweight championship. And that's the Boxing Junkies list. Goes on to say, it brought back memories of the great 147-pound matchups of the past, including Sugar Ray Leonard versus Tommy Hearns and Felix Trinidad versus Oscar De La Hoya. It was historic. In the end, however, it wasn't competitive as Crawford turned a 50-50 matchup on paper into a stunning mismatch in the ring. Now, when somebody says a 50-50 matchup on paper, yes, in certain people's eyes, some people thought it was a 60-40, 70-30. Some of y'all had it 80-20. You know what I'm saying? Me, I had 100-0. You know what I'm saying? I stand on that. I had Errol Spence having no chance of beating Terrence Crawford, period. But 50-50 sounds more inviting when you talk about a fight of that magnitude, don't it? You know what I'm saying? It seems a bit more healthier. It seems like, you know, you're providing a courtesy to say, okay, if someone's on a pound for pound list, then you need to provide them that courtesy. Give them the percentage of 50-50. Plus, they're the unified champion. And I did give him that courtesy. I did. But I just felt without a shadow, without any type of compunction, no intrepidation, that Terrence Crawford was going to blast through Errol Spence Jr. I didn't think it'd go down the way it did. I thought Spence would put up much more of a fight and there would be a bit more tyranny to it, but it wasn't. The article goes on to say, Crawford was nothing short of spectacular, putting Spence down 3 times, breaking him down, and taking him out in the 9th round of what was arguably his coronation as the best fighter in the post-Floyd Mayweather-Manny Pacquiao era. Come on, man. What are you talking about now? Kudos to whoever wrote this article. Kudos to you. Me and you are tracking. You know what I'm saying? Me and you are tracking. He also became the first undisputed welterweight champion in the 4-belt era and the first man to win all 4 major belts in a second division, adding to the weight of his achievement. Once again, I must reiterate, I must repeat that he also became the first undisputed welterweight champion in the 4-belt era and the first man to win all 4 major belts in the second division, add to the weight of the achievement. Now, when you add first to something, doesn't that mean you achieved it before anyone else? Isn't that what we talked about in 23? I'm pretty sure I went over this, man. You know what I'm saying? First means you was able to get there when nobody else was around. No one was waiting there to greet you for that achievement. That achievement is all yours and yours by yourself. That's what makes it so special. The first, not the second or third, the first. When you have the first, you can't sit up here and say, well, let me get a fight of the year to someone who did it second. How does that work? It don't work. It's called politics. It's called basically denying, you know what I'm saying? Denying Crawford his just due. That's all that is. Real talk. That's all that is. Denying Crawford his just due. We know very well that in a way, though what he did was respectable and yes, great. Okay? but it was not greater than what Terrence Crawford did. And ESPN knows that. But through it all, we know boxing has politics. We know networks that's attached to certain promotions. It is what it is at the end of the day. Real talk. We know what it is. But I don't know, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know who was on the board. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who was on the board who made that call. But it was all bad. Let's go on. Let's keep on. They say, see, why Crawford was an obvious choice for 2023 Fight of the Year. He goes back to what Crawford said post-fight. Man, I'm so blessed. Crawford said in the ring after his victory. I swear. Like I said before, I always dreamed of being world champion. I'm an overachiever. Nobody believed in me when I was coming up. I made everybody a believer. You know what I'm saying? And he did make a lot. I mean, he made an incredible amount of naysayers believers. So much to the point where you always hear me say, he made them so much of a believer that they didn't want to believe it. He proved to them right in front of their lids, their eyes, you know what I'm saying, where their visual can be transmitted back neurologically. And it has to go through the whole psychological process in cataloging that information, passing the synapses gap, coming up with a thought to process that moment that you just witnessed. He did it so bad. He made it look so much of a mismatch that they saw it, but then they went into selective amnesia and denial. God did bless us with that. He did bless human beings with the point of not being forced to be honest about something that you just witnessed and tell the truth. We are imperfect, you know what I'm saying? So therefore, being imperfect, we can go up here and totally be disingenuous about a situation that we know no one should have had anything negative to say about it. But that's neither here nor there. I would get to this though, and shout out to everyone that's in the building. That's when, with about 20 seconds to go, Crawford 40-0, 31 knockouts, put Spence 28-1, 22 knockouts, down with the right jab and jab that resembled a power punch. Spence got to his feet and wasn't hurt badly, but Crawford was just getting started. And that would be reflecting back on the second round. And what I must note in this passage right here, you see Spence's record since he said he's back. I just want to remind him, 28-1, 22 knockouts. That one is the champion that I'm speaking of right now, Terrence Bud Crawford, the fight of the year. You know what I'm saying? The fight of the year, and a fighter that has nothing else to prove. You know what I'm saying? Majority of everyone else gave him fight of the year besides ESPN. It goes on to say, from then on, the winner was in complete control, coldly, methodically, destroying an opponent many believe was his equal going into the highly anticipated showdown. I love this article because a lot of you all thought that Spence was Crawford's equal. Many of you did think that. Hold on for a second. It said, believed. I'm not trying to give you a sermon. I'm just talking. I'm just trying to express you know what I'm saying, my belief in how it all went down last year. And I'm fully aware that there's still individuals out there that's brokenhearted, destroyed, crushed. I understand that. But when you read this right here, the winner was in complete control, methodically destroying an opponent many believe was his equal, going into the highly anticipated showdown. Perfectly well said. Well said. Many believed that Spence was Crawford's equal until the punches began to communicate. The punches began to communicate through the exchanges of the fighter, and it was supposed to be a professional dialogue, and it ended up turning into a destructive monologue. I'm just being honest, man. Don't really feel no type of way about WCS being the messenger. That's what I feel. You know what I'm saying? It goes on to say the fight was already slipping away from Spence in round 7. Slipping is spelled S-L-ipping. Slipping away from Spence in round 7, doing which Crawford put him down twice. Twice. T-W-ice. Twice. First by a counter right about a minute into the round, and then by a right hook in the final seconds. The end, it seemed, was near. Kudos. Let me go back up right quick. Who wrote this? Mike Rosenthal. Shout out to Mike Rosenthal, man. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, brother. Doing your thing. Very well written. Crawford stung Spence midway through round 9 and then unloaded as vicious an assault as you would ever see in the ring. Spence somehow remained on his feet, but he took terrible punishment, enough to convince referee Harvey Dock to end the slaughter. What did I say? It was on July 29th, T-Mobile massacre. Rosenthal up here saying Harvey Dock to end the slaughter, y'all. It was a T-Mobile massacre. What was supposed to be a 50-50 turned out to be oh my God. Had people putting hand over mouth. Had people dipping their head. Talking to the other, pro Spence fans that was sitting next to him. Are you believing this? Oh my God, no, man. No, man, they did something to Spence, man. They did something to Spence, bro. They did something to Spence. No way. But Spence, to his credit, he was getting off the canvas. But well said. I need to read this paragraph again just in 2024 to rededicate myself to, the auditory system of the pro Spence fans so they can hear my voice. Crawford stung Spence midway through round 9 and then unloaded as vicious an assault as you would ever see in the ring. Spence somehow remained on his feet, but he took terrible punishment, enough to convince referee Harvey Dock to end the slaughter, y'all. The slaughter. The slaughter, which was the T-Mobile massacre. It goes on to say, it was a performance for the ages, given the perception of Spence at that time. The stakes and Crawford complete dominance. No one else could match his accomplishments. Give it up for Rosenthal. Give it up for Rosenthal. Did you hear that last part? No one else could match his accomplishments. No one else in that calendar year, based off that one fight and that one fight alone, with that name being on the pound for pound list, could match Terrence Bud Crawford's accomplishments. And that's what I've been echoing the entire time. That's been my lane of choice, and I've been honest about that. prior to them stepping in the ring, I felt the way I did. While the fight was going on, I was enjoying my fish, shrimp. Oh my God, I'm salivating right now because somehow, some way, word has broke that Spence is back. You know, WCS had to think about that, right? I had to think about, where is he back? You know what I'm saying? Where did he go, first of all? And where is he back? You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to get to that. But I thought this article was absolutely superb. Phenomenal job. You know what I'm saying? And give a big shout out to Michael Rosenthal, Boxing Junkie. He got it. He absolutely did a stupendous job with journalism. Stupendous. You know what I'm saying? I just thought this article was very important for me to let the listeners hear this, being in 2024, because it's not much really going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna follow everybody else talking about the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to talk about the same stuff. You know, yeah, we know Calvin Ford was arrested. Wish the brother nothing but the best with getting out. You know, but you know, people still talking about things that you will find in a script that they're trying to create. You know what I'm saying? They're just trying to, you know, find a way to talk about something here or there, and we really don't know if that actual fight is going to happen. You know, it's more like gossip. Gossip. You know what I'm saying? It's more like gossip, bro. But this right here, with Terrence Crawford being Fighter of the Year, that's not gossip. That's a factual reality. You know what I'm saying? That's very factual reality. That's all I'm saying. It's a factual reality where people need to understand that just because ESPN did not provide this man the crown that he deserved coming from that platform, it doesn't remove him from Fight of the Year. I see some people saying that, oh yeah, and knew he was given Fight of the Year. Hey, what about all the other platforms that gave Crawford Fight of the Year? I guarantee it's more than a Nui. USA got that one. USA got that one. You know what I'm saying? USA pulled that out. Omaha pulled that out. Real talk. There's no other fighters coming close. You know what I'm saying? It's just, looking at it all, I didn't get mad at all when ESPN came out with the choice they did, because no one can justify that. No one can sit up here and justify a Nui getting Fight of the Year than Crawford. Nobody. You know, those individuals that was pretty much cheering for Nui had Terrence Crawford as the op. That's all. They wasn't really supportive of him and didn't respect what he did, even though they're trying to freaking congratulate a Nui and act like he did something special when Crawford was the first one to do it. If that doesn't jumble, you know what I'm saying? If that doesn't scrabble and put you in a state of disorientation trying to figure that shit out, how? You know what I'm saying? How does that happen? If the first boxer ever to do it was first, there's no other it's no one even close, period. There's no one even close. He's the first one to do it. So we're going off strict achievements. And that achievement from the T-Mobile Massacre superseded anything any other boxer did in 2023. That's so factual. But let me get to the task at hand with 28-1. You know, Mr. Errol Spence. Shout out to you, Errol. Happy New Year to you, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, wherever you have gone. You know what I'm saying? If you look on Errol's Twitter, you know, you want to find something to help this man and his fans get back into the groove. They've been out the groove for at least about 3 years now. When I say out the groove, they really haven't been talking about him the way they're supposed to. But Listen to WCS. I've tried to explain to them to speak more about Spence than Crawford. So recently, somehow, some way, Errol Spence said he was back. And I'm saying, I'm hearing these people jump on this bandwagon trying to act like they happy that he's back, but they don't even know what he's back from. You know what I'm saying? These are the same people who was on their knees crying, bawling out. I'm talking about eyes pinkish red, looking like a baboon ass. They was throwing tantrums. Grown ass adults walking around Walmart with pacifiers. They had their big fish shirt on, smoking bud shirt on and shit. You know what I'm saying? They was destroyed, crushed. And I'm saying to myself, where is he back from? Has the pro Spence fans learned from 2023 to talk more about him, mention his name than Crawford? Have they learned? Because all that energy, hours, days, months that they put and invested all that negative energy, it still didn't get them to influence whoever it may be to change the results on July 29th. The results stand as they may. Crawford is 40-0. Spencer's 28-1. Nothing they said influenced anything except a couple of responses, several responses from Crawford to let those naysayers and critics know what he felt. But at the end of the day, I haven't heard majority of these pro Spence fans explain to me where he's back from. Where is he back? Where is he back? If he's back from whatever he was at, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're so desperate, right? He puts out a couple of pictures and people saying he back. Back for what? When you hype him up, you have to stay hyping him up. Don't hype him up a little bit and then go back and say, okay, well, we finally got an official fight date. Let's go back to what we was talking about with Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back to, what we seen in the fight. That's just going to spoil everything. You know what I'm saying? Not spoil as if you basically telling somebody the outcome of this second ass whooping is about to happen, but it's going to spoil like in the preservation. You know what I'm saying? The preservation process, the nutritional value. You're going to spoil it that way. You're going to taint it. That's what you're going to do. You're going to taint this fight. If you bring up all the old lies that never got y'all anywhere, you're doing Errol Spence a disservice. Because I can say, as a Crawford supporter, right? As a Crawford fan, we talk about him. We more so talk about what he's going to do, what we believe he's going to do. You all talk about what he isn't going to do, what he can't do, what he won't do. And how did that work out for you? Let me know. How did that work out for y'all? You know what I'm saying? How did that work out for you? Just let me know. How did it work out? How did all that energy, negative at that, how did that work out for you? All the falsicities, the shame that you put yourself through. How did it all work out for you? How did all the bickering and talking about what Crawford couldn't do, wouldn't do, what he can't do, what he won't do, when you should have been focusing on your fighter? You should have been talking about what Errol Spence was going to do. Just like Andrew mentioned several lives ago, he didn't hear the pro Spence fans giving credit to Errol Spence actually showing courage. You know what I'm saying? Showing, fortitude, durability, resilience, to keep getting up. Isn't that what they motivate you with? If you get knocked down, because every motivational speech is based off what? Struggle. At that point in time, July 29th, Spence was struggling. What he did, continue to get on his feet, continue to stand up, continue to fight. That's what Spence did. And he earned a lot more respect from me when he did that. But that doesn't negate the fact that Crawford is a much better all-around 360 fighter, bro. When you say you getting out of pocket and you want to live that lifestyle and you don't care what anybody else say about you, then a person like me will look at you like, okay, if you want to live outside, if you want to be a rambunctious individual, and you get in a situation that may or may have not affect your professional career, and it could have ended your life, then people look at it like, okay, we want to have sympathy for him a little bit. But then again, he said he been living out of pocket his whole life. So he, just like he sent that text, no broken bones, I'm a savage. That's pretty much where Spence is at with it. But when you mention it around these Spencerholics, they get all upset. They get upset because it's true. It's reality. You know what I'm saying? That shit's reality, bro. That is absolutely legitimate reality. Where is he back from? We saw one person post that he was, working out at a yoga studio, some fitness studio. But where is he back from? If he's out there doing cardio, cool. Do cardio, man. Cool, brother. Cool. Do cardio. The only way that Spence can win going into this rematch is the fact, the only way that Spence is going to win heading into this rematch, the only way that Spence wins going into this rematch is that Terrence Crawford, when the bell ring, pulls a Curtis Harper, turns around, split the ropes, and leave. That's the only way he can win. Him showing up as a body, as an able body once again, passing the same medicals that he passed the first time. It's not going to be enough. You know why it's not going to be enough? Because for one, like I said before, his mindset is just like his fans. They feel like all they got to do is the same thing over and over again. They don't care about the results. They don't understand it's going to take some much more of a higher being, a higher strength for him to get this victory. And if Spence isn't willing to jump outside the comfort zone and learn something different and study tape and be locked in to studying every bit of that fight, even though it still be difficult because Diddy James has been on record as saying he don't watch film. So if you have somebody that's not willing to be studious and they just want to go off the rambunctious method, it's broken a little bit, but I still think you at 154, you're going to be much stronger. You won't have to cut down to 47. I think if we stick somewhat similar, from 100 to 90, from 1 to 90, I'll say about 94.5. If we stick to 94.5 of who you were as a fighter that got you to that point all the way up to earning the WBA title from Udenis Ugas, if we just tweak a little bit, just a little bit now of that 5.5, I think it'll be enough with the lack of weight you have to lose, but still maintaining that tenaciousness, that come forward style. Diddy James gonna sit up here and tell him, I think you can do it. Until Crawford starts to pull something else out. Because one thing we know about Team Crawford is that they have no problem watching film. No problem. They've been watching Spence for the longest of time. You think they're going to come in there? Look, they even been on record as saying they didn't even dip into their plan B or C. Who knows what the plan B was? What was the plan B for Team Crawford? Because there's a lot of hidden gems, as they call it. You know what I'm saying? Hidden in the rough. There's a lot of individuals that say that we haven't seen Crawford pull out his entire arsenal. But how great it is for a fighter to compete at that level, that elite level, right? And don't use all of his skills, but continue to dominate That's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with it. If you take team for team, we're not just talking about the fighters. We're talking about team for team. NAC. I know a lot of you think that is a part of the snack program. No, that's not it. I know a lot of you niggas are hell bent on snack, and you mad because you think that's what you want to say that won Crawford the fight. But NAC, when it comes to the next fight, NAC, not a chance. That's what that means. Not a chance. We don't need a S because we know the S for Crawford stands for Superman. God damn it. We don't need the S, but we can rock out with NAC. Not a chance that Spencer's gonna come over there team for team, fighter for fighter. Not a chance. I know some of y'all gonna be hoping that he twist his ankle, his ACL, MCL blowout, his Achilles snap. You know what I'm saying? You hope he got that hit Errol Spence and fracture his wrist. He had to fight with one hand the rest of the fight, and then y'all be on here bragging, yeah, he beat up Crawford. He beat up Crawford. Listen, I think with one hand, if one hand was fractured, I still think he'll beat Errol Spence with it. I still think he'll use it as if it wasn't anything. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even a problem. But I want to know, where is Spence back from? We need to know clarification, because I don't want to hear these terrible, toilet bowl, piss on the floor, all this freaking grimy residue of excuses that his fans use for the last couple of years. You know what I'm saying? Where is he back from? Because they need to be asking that question. You know what's amazing is that they want to talk about how Errol Spence is back, but they're not really trying to find out where he's back from. Don't you want to know where he's back from so you won't have to make up all these lame excuses when it comes times for the rematch? Don't you want to know where he's back from so you can kind of gauge where his weight may be? None of y'all are trying to find out. I see every other freaking... When are we going to get some YTC media in the gym for Spence? As much as y'all talked about Crawford and what he couldn't do and can't do and won't do and all that, when are y'all going to be over there in the gym? When is Diddy James going to let y'all in the gym? When? When are y'all going to be able to go over there and give us the content? I'll tune in. I want to see you get through the Constantine wire. You know what I'm saying? The gullies, the trenches, all the obstacles that's there, the security obstacles, the booby traps. I want to see if some of you all can make it through to at least a crack window where you can yell out, Diddy! Yo, Diddy! And you yell out your channel name. I just want to do some media, man. I want some content. Yo, Diddy. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want. I want you to get on the inside and be able to provide the content, because we don't have time for those excuses in 24. No more. Y'all need to do a bit more recon on trying to retrieve this information instead of just sitting on your ass on the YTC and talking about, oh man, L say he back. Back from what? You all need to find out what he back from. Because I want y'all to feel comfortable heading into this rematch. I want y'all to know that this man's been working from early January all the way to the fight day. I want y'all to feel comfortable now, stress-free. I want you all to be able to talk now about Spence. Leave Crawford name out your mouth, because you know what that got you. For real, you know what that got you. We had people walking around here from Crawford stepping on their back, believing they've been diagnosed with scoliosis. Crawford did them so dirty. A lot of you were so pissed off, your face was frowned up permanently like you had Bell palsy. You know what I'm saying? The muscles didn't work no more. Y'all went to bed so angry that night. I mean, a lot of you all cried yourselves to sleep. You know WCS ain't lying. You cried yourself to sleep. You wake up, half your face is drooping. I mean, come on, it wasn't a good last period of months for you all in 23. I get it. But sometimes when you need to be quiet, there's other words it's just other situations that can shut you up. And that massacre that happened in Vegas was it. That massacre in itself. That's why I want to know he's back from what? If he's back from, from the fight July 29th and he's subliminally trying to say, yeah, the old Spence is here. I'm back. I'm good. I'm ready. I've been training. I'm on weight. Okay, talk about that shit. Because I don't want to hear all this nonsense like I heard before. I don't want to hear that now. I don't think me or a lot of other people want to hear these grown-ass adults sitting in their motherfucking live stream with just a shirt on. And then if you adjusted the camera to lower, they up there have a grown-ass huggy diaper on. Them motherfuckers don't want to get up and go to the bathroom. They just hurt. Shitting on themselves and all. They got grown adult huggy diapers and shit. How many been out the house since the fight? Mad, pouting, throwing tantrums, acting flicked. You know what I'm saying? Flailing they arms around, walking back and forth their house, just mad, y'all. If he's back, talk about him being back. I want you to mention nothing but Spence's name, how he's looking rejuvenated, how he's looking to return to greatness, how he's looking to be greater than Crawford. He's looking to avenge that defeat on July 29th. Talk about that. Because y'all don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I want to say most of y'all cats wasn't a part of the system. You know what I'm saying? Most of y'all wasn't. I'm thinking. When I say the system, I'm talking about you had to go through the adoption process. Because it's a lot of pain and torture to go on in that system. A lot of kids get messed up even worse. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to make light up. I'm just saying. I'm giving you the benefit that a lot of you cats wasn't a part of the system. So therefore, I say that to say this. Like, most of you all wasn't a part of the system. So what I'm saying is, you went to public schools. You pretty much had your parents that could, teach you a bit more of the part of life, the facts of life. And they kind of told you like, hey, good versus bad, hot versus cold. You understand how that works? They turned the burner on and they said, for those of you that have the gas, that right there, if you never seen it, if you never felt it before or seen it, you see fire, they say, do you think that's hot or cold? It's cold, mama. Okay. Put your hand up there then. You put your goddamn hand up there and nigga goddamn jet off and run into a wall face first, holding his hand. It's crying like a goddamn baby. Now, after you finish goddamn crying your eyes out because your fingers hurt like a mother, they ask you again, is that hot or cold? Hot, hot, hot. God damn it, hot. Okay, this is what I'm trying to bring you full circle to say, don't go up here talking that BS about Crawford no more, because that stove is hot. It's going to be hot every time that you try to bring up cheating. It's going to be hot, and you're not doing Errol Spence any justice, because we already know Crawford hold grudges, man. He may not seem like he hold grudges, but he listens. He reads what you're putting out there. So if the stove was hot and y'all kept on playing around with it and playing around with it and didn't take it serious, then all I got to say is you reap what you sow. You already got ran over and stumped on the first time around. And then you better hope he forgot. You better hope he went to a freaking retreat, a ayahuasca retreat. You better hope that he said, you know what? The way I'm feeling right now, Spence may not make it out the ring in the rematch. He had to go to get some intervention. They had to bring him back down. You know, Crawford probably was feeling, so active. You know what I'm saying? His energy level was like through the roof. High numbers. That he couldn't wait to get back in this ring. Especially hearing that all these freaking pro Spencerholics was accusing him of cheating. A guy who haven't had any controversy when it comes to the integrity of the sport. The man hasn't been seen out at the club drunk, intoxicated. He hasn't been on the news for recklessly driving a vehicle, endangering the lives of others. He hasn't been on record as pretty much putting himself in a situation of embarrassing him and his family and friends. But due to the Spencerholics and who they support, they sit up here and glorify that. And though I always say they live different lives, they'll tell their kids not to be like that person. They'll get on here and glorify that with Spence. All I'm saying, remember the stove is still hot. If you want to come back up here when you hear the rematch and what date, it's official. And you start talking about loaded gloves. You want to talk about all the interviews that Victor Conte did and what he said about Spence. Hey, I'm at a point right now. If you believe that Spence was freaking weight drained and you call yourself hardcore boxing fans and you don't want to hold Diddy James and Frank Martin and all those people that was on that team running with him up Mount Charleston, if you don't want to criticize them for doing something as asinine as that, then I'm gonna sit back and smile once again. For real. I'm gonna sit back and smile once again. Because now you're trying to once again hold Terrence Crawford liable for something that the team should be responsible for. It's their fault. They the one. Spence is the problem. Spence wasn't able to cut the weight because it's only so much that Diddy James could tell him. And that's probably why he slapped Spence upside the head with the mitts, because he knew the frustration of how he gaffed off freaking training camp, thinking he was going to come in there and run through Crawford. See, his mentality was, you remember the interview he did with this girl on the rocks with AO? And he was talking about he knew he can come in there less than 100 and mollywop freaking Danny Garcia. Excuse me. See, I believe that he had that same mentality with Crawford. So many people had told him and filled his head up that he had busted up Yadina's Ugas. And he had took his eye, that he believed that BS. And he went and got mouthpieces made to further address his psychological, you know what I'm saying, that psychological attire that he wanted to bring in the ring, that armor, that psychological armor that people had convinced him that, yeah, man, you can't be beat. Look what you did to Ugas, man. You broke his rib and took his eye. They was going back to when Marvelous Jarvis was up here giving interviews in the car. Everybody was up here. I got to speak to Marvelous Jarvis. He up there said, yeah, Spence hit me one time. I was out for 2. Man, come on. And then I had to do a live stream with goddamn Marvelous Jarvis showing his ribs and how he had Band-Aids on it. They believed all that hype. They believed that they was going to run through Crawford, bro. They absolutely believed all of it. Shout out to News by Shaw News Sauce Experience. What's good, man? I like the rebranding. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to fam, man. Cooking with Sir Senior on deck. What's good with it? Salute Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. What's good with it, OG? How you feeling, man? MD Mills, what's good with it, man? Once again, Happy New Year's to everybody that's on deck. Why does Ring Magazine and BWA announced theirs? They should have had them out by now. You know, it's 24, so they should have had them out by now. I'm not sure. Crawford not an ESPN top ranked fighter no more. He wasn't getting ESPN Fighter of the Year, but like you said, he did the first history. They can't erase that. They can't erase it, man. They can't erase none of that. They can't erase it. EJ is back to the gimmicks. All I want is for them to do me a favor, not me physically, specifically. Just do me a favor and find out where he's back from. I don't want, before I go into my ad-living ceremony, I just want to know, where is Spence back from? Back from training? Where is he at? Was he locked in, embedded in another gym trying to learn some new technique? Was he going through a freaking brain transplant? What was he back from, though? Did he go up there and have a religious, intervention, a religious retreat where he converted to something else? Where he went to purify himself in a cave? Where is he back from? Was he walking barefooted for the last several months? And he was being chaperoned by a shaman? Did he go see the monks? Where are you back from, though? I need to know that. The Spencerholics need to know that. You know why? It's essential that they need something to hold on to for their fragile eggshell confidence, man. They need something to hold on to heading into this rematch. You think I was going to take a full year off knowing that the damn rematch is coming up? You think I wasn't going to get on here and talk about it? You think that was relief? You all was probably up there tomorrow. He gave up. Yeah, it's good. We won't have him around when this rematch is announced. He won't be on here talking that shit, man. God damn, I hate that nigga. Hate that nigga. Give me another banana. I don't hate that, right? I'm about to drop the dime on his ass. I already did, though. I already did. I'm going to drop another dime on his ass. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They was up here saying that. I just want to know, real talk. I just want to know where he's back from. Where is he back? Has he been training? I hope it was some type of training with a coach, a trainer that he kept confidential. Because, from what we understand, Diddy James say that his head was right, but he hadn't been back in the gym. You don't know what to believe, Diddy James or not. If EJ said, don't tell him I'm back in the gym yet, that he ain't going to tell you in the gym. He's just going to, do what he do all the time, like he don't know a damn thing. But my whole point, and I'll continue to, bow this arrow, because I love archery. I'll continue to bow this arrow to the Spencerholics that as long as Errol Spence has Diddy James, this rematch shit is not going to favor him, just like he did with Jamel Charlo and Brian Castano. You can think what you want to think, but Diddy James cannot outcoach Bomac. That's one. Point blank, period. That's one overall when you talk about the team. The collective interest and education and how they sit down and work as a team to film study, to go in there and look the way they did July 29th. First and foremost, the team. The team itself. 1-0. You're talking about team Crawford versus team Spence. Not even close. Number 2, athlete. I want to know where he's back from. Because anything he went through, his mind isn't as strong as Crawford's mind when it comes to discipline. Errol Spence has been indisciplined the athlete, the overall athlete, that nod goes in favor of Terrence Crawford. That nod goes in favor of Terrence Crawford. Point blank, hands down, it ain't no debate. 3, boxing IQ. What I just mentioned about Terrence Crawford, all around athlete, when it comes to the boxing IQ between both of these fighters, no. Errol Spence, no. He doesn't mirror up. He doesn't equal that of Bud Crawford. Team, athlete, boxing IQ. It doesn't equal up. It doesn't equate to him going in and making adjustments. Because we've seen in 28 of his professional fights, the ones that truly mattered, he pretty much fought the same way. He found out the hard way that he couldn't do that with Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He found out that he couldn't do that. Those are the 3 realities heading into this rematch. Team, athlete, boxing IQ. Them jive turkeys, for all that YTC content they put out on him, they still don't got no interviews. Not one. Not one. Not one, man. Not one. You can't get one. You can't get one exclusive. Is Ellie the only one that can go up here and just basically frolic around, skip through the YTC universe and get interviews and drop in and out? Why aren't y'all, I know a lot of y'all that's out there kissing ass right now. The same ones out here kissing Devin Haney ass. You can kiss one more ass now. If you got 2 cheeks already, what's 4 cheeks? If you go 2 cheeks, you can get 4 cheeks. You know what I'm saying? Go over there and try to kiss Ellie's ass. And ask him how you can get up in there. For real, it's no different. You just won't get paid. You won't get paid from Ellie. But you know what I'm saying? If you got 2 cheeks, no, matter of fact, it won't be 2 cheeks. I'll take that back, man. My fault, y'all. It's 2024. I did forget that I've also aged a little bit more going into another year. I got it. You don't have 2 cheeks. You got 4 cheeks already. You know what I'm saying? You got Devin, you got Bill. This would be cheeks number 5 and 6. Okay? All you got to do is find Ellie and say, hey, Ellie, can you get me in the dough? You know what I'm saying? I know you're really good with Spence. Not so much Crawford. He can't get you in the dough with Crawford. If it is, it's probably a cellar door. You know what I'm saying? But he can probably get you in there with Errol Spence. You got people interviewing snack programs that supposedly edged, you know what I'm saying, that gave Crawford the edge. I'm just curious. When are you all going to have Errol Spence on a show? I mean, come on, money. You can't get him money. You know his people. You call up his people, talk about Errol Spence. Come on, Dookie, you can't do it. Come on, man. Somebody got to be close. All y'all got his number. You brag about how you do this and that. I don't have these dudes' numbers. I don't have their number. But y'all got, everybody want to brag. I got his number. See, I can text him. I'm doing this. Can you get him on the channel? Can you bring him from the darkness to the light? Because I don't want to hear anything else except where is he back from? Y'all are not curious to know where he's back from so you can brag a little bit if it's something positive. You want to be able to brag about this shit. You want to be able to brag if he was freaking keeping that weight off. You want to be able to brag that, oh, this fight's going to be different because he's on track ahead of time. He's not hanging out at the all-you-can-eat smothered crab leg festival. He's back. What? He's back to the old dog? Because I seen the same fighter I always seen. You know, the shirts, he said, go get that Bud pack. Was that it? Hey, listen. If it's any type of warning that I would give Team Spence, don't make no more t-shirts about Bud. Whew, we ain't gonna talk about no smoke. We ain't gonna talk about no smoke. You know, I've been seeing pictures of you dressed in that old Western gear, and I'm telling you, I grew up watching Westerns myself. If there's anything I think you should put on a T-shirt, you should represent the black cowboys in history. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna do anything like that, you know what I'm saying? Those type of shooters like that, you should go with the black cowboy, not goddamn the strawberry sensation. You know what I'm saying? Not a shark out of water walking from room to room and faking like Crawford's in there hiding from you. No. If you want to say that was Crawford, then that means he was inside that room training, where you should have been doing. But you was a fish out of water when it came to July 29th. You was a fish out of water. Bad, dog. The only one that actually had EJ one content was IOTB and Jackal Fitness. Yes, sir. You know, the ones they don't want to show the LOVE2. You know what I'm saying? The RES. Spec. You know what I'm saying? EJYTC YouTube boxing content creators fan base, especially the ones from Texas, never been to his gym. Man, the reality. You know, you actually got pictures next to Spence, but maybe you need to put them up on the thumbnail again. And you know, you actually introduced me to Spence uncle, and we was chopping it up the whole fight week. That's a fact. So if anybody over here really has had that time with Spence, the one that they was trying to call a Judas, the one that they was trying to tell me now, they wanted me to turn my back. Just because they didn't like him, they say, "Oh man, your boy ain't solid." Who are you to talk about solid? Look, I told you I go off my instinct, bro. Who am I to believe that you was a solid individual? Y'all niggas that was out there. The way y'all sit up here and stab me in the back in a situation that didn't have your name on it. You feel me? The team Spence YTC boxing content creators was making videos on that Mount Charleston incompetence fight week, running up mountains. But what do I know? They act like it was Crawford's fault. They act like they discovered just because Victor Conte said something about what any athlete, any adult that was an athlete back in the day up to now, know that if you change elevations without properly acclimating yourself, come on. You want to blame Crawford for every mistake that Errol Spence and his team made? How does that work? How do you blame Crawford for everything? But you don't give Crawford credit for Errol Spence going in there and beating Danny Garcia and Yardenas Ugas to pick up the WBC and the WBA belt in order to make this undisputed. You don't give Crawford any credit for being the so-called motivation for him to do that. The heavy lifting. What was he doing all the heavy lifting for? To fight Crawford, right? To have that leverage going in there, right? And then in the end, he really didn't get any leverage. He's giving away millions. Y'all was mad because he had to give up concessions. And that's why I'm saying, be careful, because you had already been told about the stove. That stove is hot. I wouldn't be up there talking crazy and going through the same, you know what I'm saying, reckless abandonment when it comes to criticizing and running a smear campaign on Crawford. It's not going to change that man, two-time undisputed, the welterweight undisputed, no one has beaten him. No one has beaten him at welterweight. He's the best welterweight in boxing, hands down, point blank, period. He's a pound for pound best in boxing. That in itself tells you a lot. You know what I'm saying? He may not have all his belts, but he's absolutely undisputed. No matter what people want to say, I want to know, where this Spence, where is he back from? All these Spencerholics, You need to, work a little bit harder and find out. All y'all want to switch subjects because y'all gave up on them. I didn't give up on you, Spence. I believe you was somewhere. I just don't know where. I'm waiting on somebody to be able to get the information. Please, I want you to come back and speak to just one content creator. You know what I'm saying? Just one content creator. I think the only one, if you come back and talk to, Spence, real talk, if it was just only one that you was going to come back and talk to, it might be the News by Shaw News Sauce Experience. Being that y'all have a history together, y'all know each other. That would be the perfect platform for you to return and talk to, for real. Because at the end of the day, he knew you real well back then. Family. So therefore, all the haters of Terrence Crawford and the haters of News by Shaw News Sauce Experience have to come over there to his channel and watch it. They have to come over there and watch it. They can say, how? Then they become birds. You know what I'm saying? How? Sound like little pussycats. How? Man, I know it ain't 2024, bro, because they doing videos on Spence saying he's back, and that's what they're running with. I don't get that from Crawford. Like, Crawford ain't put up nothing talking about he back. He there. He ain't back from nothing, because he's there. Where's Spence back from? He's back from training in the mountains. He went over to Colorado Springs and nobody seen him dip in and dip out. And he was under covert. You know what I'm saying? He was covert over there. He had on disguises and shit, running them steps and training in high elevation. Is that it? Is that it? I think at this point in time, I'm pretty sure Crawford has heard my live streams. I'm pretty sure he has. But Crawford, if you're listening, this is my only suggestion heading into this rematch, Crawford. Because you don't have nothing else to prove. But I have this one request from you. I ask that you fight Errol Spence in Texas. Hold up now. The reason why I would appreciate you fighting Errol Spence in Texas, because the way you did him the first time around, the amount of people, hearts, souls, I'm talking about the whole psychological sustainability. What you was able to do with having them in the palm of your freaking hand, your left and your right. You know what I'm saying? And the way you battered that man, it's only right that you go to Texas and batter him a second time. It's only right that you go in his backyard and give it to him again. But be closer to friends and family who looked at it the first time on TV, but let them know how it is in reality. You need to go to Texas and beat that man in his backyard. So when these Spencer Hawleys come back over here and they talking like they have a speech impediment, I want to be able to sit back and laugh my ass off. I want you to go to Texas, man. Go beat that man in front of Jerry Jones like you did before. It's not like Jerry Jones. He probably would give you more VIP treatment than he gave Errol. Go beat him in Texas, man. Because that right there, it don't get any more raw, uncut, in your face. Going to Texas and beating that man in his backyard. Now, I know it's going to be a rough crowd. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's not going to be as rough as it used to be. A lot of people just turn their back on them. I get it. But you go over there to Texas and you finish that man in 3 or 4 rounds. The Spence fans possibly will shut their channel down. You know what I'm saying? They possibly have to take a break because you not only beat him down again, you stopped him in earlier fashion in his hometown, and you have more of those Spence fans right there in attendance. See, everybody couldn't go over to Vegas, but I'm pretty sure those Texas boys would be right there watching that fight front and center. That's what you got, man. If that's in your option, because you already got the prize, big dog. You already have the prize. You became 2-time undisputed. Now it's time to just get nasty. Now it's just time to show out again. Go to Texas. Go to Texas, dog. Stamp. Leave your stamp. Say this my hometown now. These are my boxing fans now. I came to your backyard of Texas, and I gave you a second L. People thought I was scared to come to your backyard, but I did anyway. They want to make all these damn steroid accusations. What's the damn excuse now? I came in your backyard and finished you in earlier fashion. What it is now. Spence didn't get proper training. Somebody had the vid-19 in the gym, so they had to close it down. And then they had to repolish and sand down and repolish every bit of furniture in there so they can sanitize it. I mean, what's going to be the excuse? That's what I think. I think he should go to Texas and goddamn, welcome back. Just like back in the day, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Shout out to Jessica on deck. I see you. July 29th, YTC Spence Channel's fight parties was the funniest. It is, man. I'm telling you, man. Sometimes in my sobriety, I go watch those dang fight parties, those reaction videos. Those fight party videos, and then the reaction videos afterwards. Oh man, to see oh my God, to see the expression, the sadness, how somber they were, how they was looking at the fight play out. You could see they was battling them internal demons. They thought, oh my God, I bet money on this fight. How can, look, and I'm gonna leave it alone for now. But I really think Crawford should go to Texas and pick up his 41st victory. It would be so sweet. It would give me another 5 years of content to talk about when it comes to Crawford. Real talk. And it would help me be able to invest in the brand Vapor Rub, because, and Wesson oil. For real. The hot grease, I will have to go get some more containers, because that shit would just be incredible. But I really do hope, Crawford heard me and go to Texas and goddamn stamp this man in his backyard. But this is all I have to say about moving forward. Please do us a favor and find out where he's back from. If you learned anything from that July 29th beatdown for talking shit about Crawford, was that don't do it again. It's not healthy, bro. And that's why Spence ain't saying too much. Spence know that he had effed up when he said he was going to beat that man like Kunta. When he brought Slave into it, all the taking the belt off, and he say, I ain't your MFing kid and all that, that was light. That was light. But when he said he was going to beat him like Kunta, previously, see that right there, now you're thinking you're the master. Now you're thinking you want to take it back to think you would ever be in that position to beat Crawford as a free man without him going in there slamming you on your head. You know what I'm saying? And his fans are not going to take it. They was up here calling him top-ranked Toby and everything. They on the low, they try to become Crawford fans. But as the fight get announced, they're going to get back over there being Spence fans. Watch what I tell you. They're going to try to creep their way back over there and be Spence fans to oh, man. The first thing they're going to say, oh, he looked different. Oh, he looked way different than last time. Look at his physique. Oh, man, this time. The same thing I said. I said when he was in Texas, at that time in training camp, he was already ripped and shredded. But I tell you, if he had to come up out of Texas, it ain't gonna be the same. Oh, it ain't gonna be the same. And it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. I told you if he come up out of Texas, his physique wasn't going to be the same. When he was training for Ugas, he was shredded already. I mean, when they did that first open workout, people was there. He was shredded already. What happened? Ugas wasn't the toughest fight of his life. You trying to tell me he had a harder time preparing to lose weight for Crawford? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Hey, but y'all hold it down, man. This is the second day of the year. Continue to put the hot grease out there for these Crawford supporters. Terrence Crawford, hands down, point blank, unanimously, is a fight of the year regardless of ESPN denying him that crown. You know what I'm saying? And he's still gonna, walk up out of here with accolades that he was the one that achieved. He was the one that achieved those accolades. The first four-belt era in the 147 pound. Also the second undisputed reign. The second undisputed reign, the first to ever do it. Come on, man. Kudos, man. Kudos to this cat, dog. But between this live and the next live, can y'all do me a favor? You Spence fans. Can one of you cats remove your puckered lips off the four cheeks and bring them over to the two cheeks and try to get an interview with Team Spence or Spence himself? Can you please provide us the information that we need and stop letting him put out short ass sentences and y'all run with it and y'all want to create these storylines? Oh, he's back, he's ready. Stop it. Come on, man. You know it's too short. It's not enough time for him to recover, bro. Until next time, man. Y'all hold it down. Peace. I'm out.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars. Should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
Hey, what you got to say there, champ? Yeah, man. What's up, Black? It's the young thing. What you got to say? What you got to say? To this day! To this day! To this day!